Hi, I'm Dolf Odendaal, and I'd like to share a little bit about our recent outreach that we had in April 2017 to North India. It was an experience that influenced me pervasively. God uses a generation that He uses as a foundation on which He builds the next generation. I experienced it firsthand there in the way that the Christian missionaries in the 1870s and the 1900s did wonderful work in North India. If you want to go to a good school, you'll go to a Christian school. Similarly, hospitalization. If you want to get well, I would strongly suggest you go to a Christian hospital, which is by far the better run hospitals in India. I also experienced legacy in the stories of the Naga people. Now, interestingly enough, in 1872, the first missionary shared the gospel to the Naga people, which at that time were still headhunters and lived in darkness. 88% of Nagaland is Christian, and all the other states in India, with the exception of two others, are predominantly Hindu. In our time at the facilitation of the Leaders Conference, we had day 2, we actually facilitated Encounter 3, which is called Legacy. And every morning we asked one of the local leaders to do the devotion for us. Now, all bets are off on the morning that we did the Legacy 3 facilitation. Of course, that morning devotion, the gentleman shared about legacy, and more specifically how God intervened in the Naga people in 1872 and continuing to today, and how they can experience that legacy firsthand. Of course, that tied in beautifully with the following legacy course that we did. On day 3, we shared with them the spiritual disciplines and the role it is to basically break pride in us. That morning, the local devotion was, of course, about pride. The gentleman just shared how pride is detrimental to our spiritual walk, and had a sermon or devotion that morning that profoundly influenced myself and fellow team members. So obviously God was in our plans, and He used people in ways that they didn't know to impact, and I want to say re-emphasize the message that He wanted the congregants and the delegates to hear. There was a gentleman that was one of the leaders. He was very quiet and I want to say drawn back a bit. Literally an hour before he left, God so intervened that I had the opportunity to speak to him in private. And during this private conversation, he actually shared with me something that he really struggled with. I could see this guy is taking up ownership of his thoughts and drawing a line in the sand. He was saying no more falling to the lies of the enemy. And so that was for me a highlight, of course, as the Holy Spirit really did something in front of my eyes. So finally, I want to share a little story about what we experienced about God's goodness. Some of our team members really wanted to do some shopping for gifts for the loved ones in South Africa, myself included. Fortunately, we had very busy schedules, and a few times we had to cancel our shopping trips, and I kind of saw that it's not going to happen. I asked God, please, I know it's something maybe not ministry-wise so important, but we really would like to buy some nice gifts for our friends and loved ones, and I don't see how it's going to happen. And anyone that knows Delhi traffic will know it's on a good day a nightmare. To make a long story short, we actually were able to get to the shopping area with 2 Uber taxis. We had 1 hour of shopping that we could buy all the stuff that we needed. When we were at the shopping area, randomly, this Uber driver appeared that we met the previous night. I was walking to one of the stalls, and he said, "Hello, Dolf." He just appeared with a 7-seater vehicle, which he offered that he will take us wherever we want to go. God surely helped us to, with the help of Rohit, to get back to our hotel in time, pack all the stuff in our bags, and he himself then helped us to get to the airport. On the way to the airport, we also shared a little bit of God and our mission trip with him. What we heard from the delegates and also other leaders was that God really rejuvenated and gave them a spiritual injection, if I can say that. The Holy Spirit ministered to people. There was tears. There was one gentleman shared, I experienced the love of Christ so much during this specific time of worship. So there was a strong spiritual enrichment to the people that we met. Remember, we met leaders that work in very distant and isolated areas that don't get a lot of spiritual food. So for them they were like sponges that as the Holy Spirit shared, they just soaked up as much as they could.